You're not alone. If you need someone to talk to today, please contact Crisis Services Canada by either calling them at 1-833-456-4566 all hours of the day, or you can text them at 45645 at 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern Time. Remember, you're not alone, and Crisis Services Canada is here to help. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. I'm your host, Graeme Forsyth. Today's episode is brought to you by Anada and Fabricland, Winkler. We are back after the long weekend to bring you this edition of the show on this Tuesday morning. Hopefully you guys had a chance to have a nice, safe, long weekend with your family, and hopefully you guys had a chance to check out that crazy Winnipeg Jets game. I know that I wasn't able to check out that crazy comeback that we had in that third period. We ended up winning in overtime to take that one 5-4 to put the Oilers in a stranglehold. And yeah, this clip that I'm doing right now, this intro, is being pre-recorded before the Jets game 4 against the Oilers, so I'm not sure if the Jets swept them or not, but I know one thing is for sure: it must have been a great game 4, and I'm excited to watch it myself after I record this clip. But yeah, let's get into what is going to be going down on today's edition of the show. It's another edition of University Commits here on Coffee with Graeme. Today I'm going to be joined by a defenseman from Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy, their female U18 prep team number 4, Ecko Kirk. Today I had a chance to ask Ecko about her commitment to SAIT College for the 2021-2022 season to play Trojans women's hockey. We also dive into the 2 years that she had playing Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy hockey, as well as the time she spent growing up in the place she was born in, the Yukon. All coming up here on today's edition of Coffee with Graeme on University Commits with number 4 of Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy, their female U18 prep team, Ecko Kirk, here on ASTV Productions. Joining me now on this edition of Coffee with Graeme on University Commits is Ecko Kirk. Ecko, thank you so much for joining me. You're 2 hours behind me right now in your hometown of Yukon. How's things going over there? You've had a chance to quarantine for 2 weeks. Now you're back at home. How's it going tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Gonna be exciting to just get into the reason why you chose SAIT to play your college hockey at that next level, as well as your 2 years with the Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy female U18 prep team. So just getting into your commitment first off, just choosing SAIT College for the 2021-2022 season. You're going to be moving out to Calgary, Alberta to pursue this. Just how excited are you to make the move down there to Calgary when it's time?
I'm very excited. Yeah, I was so relieved once I got committed, definitely.
That's great. And what was the biggest reason why you chose SAIT as that next place for you?
Um, I definitely wanted to stay in Canada. That was part of my reasoning. And then I talked on the phone with my coach from SAIT and everything, like his his goals and like his team objectives and everything like that, just like really connected with me, and I felt like it'd be a good place for me to be.
Yeah, and how nice were those conversations with the coach of the team? Who is the coach? Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a boy. His name I've been connecting. There's two of them. I've been connecting with Tom Molly. He's the one I've been talking to.
Nice. How so those conversations have been going pretty well for you, and
Yeah. I talked to him on the phone. That's when I first met him, and yeah, ever since we just like got to chatting. I got to know like he told me a bit about his coaching style, and I just was really interested in his program there.
During this time with COVID, just without you actually going down and getting to see the college, just having these conversations with the coach, just how nice has that been for you? Just making that first impression of why SAIT is that right place for you.
Yeah, those phone calls are definitely huge, especially now with COVID and not being able to go there. And it was really nice with just getting a sense of how he thinks and how the team would work and everything like that.
You're going to be going into taking nutrition for healthy lifestyles and hopefully moving into SAIT's paramedic program. That's what it said in the post put out, I guess the press release put out on Pilot-Mound's website. Just what interested you about just taking that route into choosing nutrition to start off?
I've always been kind of interested in the human body or in like the medical field. So I thought the nutrition course, like that program would be a good introduction. And then to go into more of the medical stuff, the paramedic would be good for that.
And how excited are you to further down the line to go into that field of becoming a paramedic potentially?
I'm very excited. I've always wanted to do something like that to help people, so I'm definitely very excited to get started on that.
During the process, of course, a bit different, like I said, during COVID, of like how to commit to a university. Just take us through the whole process, not just having the conversations with the coaching staff, but just the process of the commitment to SAIT.
Um, it's definitely a lot of work and it puts a lot of stress on a grade 12 student trying to figure out where you're going to go to school. But I talked to a few other schools in Alberta who wanted me on their team also, but I was kind of leaning more towards SAIT because I liked um, what their hockey program looked like and I liked their school. So once I finally got the phone call in with Tom, that's when I knew that's where I wanted to be. So then I had to connect with those other coaches and let them know.
Yeah, for sure, and it's great that you found that this school SAIT is going to be the right fit for you. And speaking about that, just for you as a player, just what could you say about yourself and what you're going to bring to this program in terms of the hockey side of things?
um, I'm definitely I have a very strong work ethic and I have like I'm a very good team player, so like I have the like ultimately like the team's success in mind. Like I'm going to be a rookie, so it's just important for me to do whatever I can to help make the team be successful.
And just being able to play a full season with Pilot-Mound, where things were a bit more normal back then compared to this season where you had a chance to play in 5 games. Just what can you say about Pilot-Mound, the hockey academy, and just how they've prepared you to take this next step of playing university hockey?
Um, yeah, Pilot-Mound has definitely prepared me for this next step. Like not just well, especially with hockey, like my
Mhm.
skill developed a lot with them, but even working in the academic side of things as well as time management, like all of those sorts of things, it really prepared me for this.
And of course, there's going to be a lot of things that players need to work on to get to that next level in terms, just putting on a bit more strength, getting faster, stuff like that. Just what have been the things that you've been focusing on during this time since your season shut down, of just being able to train and treating it like an extended off season?
Yeah, when we knew we would be playing any more games in Pilot-Mound, we still had access to the gym, which was really nice. So we would go and we do a lot of agility based stuff. And right now was the time to put on muscle too. So we did a lot of weight training as well as added in some like runs in the mix of it. So, but we were mainly focused on putting on muscle.
Now that you're back home in Yukon, do you have a place where you can train near your home, or do you have a place in your house where you do your training at?
Yeah, I have a little home gym and it's always fairly nice outside, so I go for runs outside. Just have to watch out for bears, of course. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you see many bears out here in Manitoba compared to Yukon?
Yeah, no, not at all.
No, no,
No.
yeah. It's definitely you definitely know you're back in Yukon, I guess, when you see some bear sightings for sure. Honestly, didn't even know about that. That's wild that there's a lot of bears there. But yeah, just
Yeah.
have you had a chance to talk to any of the teammates that you're going to be playing with next season at this point?
Yep, I've connected with a few of them. Like we've kind of found each other on social media, which is nice, and I've been talking to them about living situations for the fall and things like that.
And what are those living situations going to look like for you? Have you had a chance to kind of look at the type of approach you're going to take to that?
I'm planning on living on campus. I already applied to a studio apartment on campus and I got accepted to it. So I think it's important to do that as a freshman because then I'll still feel very like included in everything and I won't be like, I'll be like right in campus, so it'll be easy for me.
Yeah, for sure. Just getting to experience the college lifestyle to its fullest by doing that. Just how excited are you to be able to experience that lifestyle on campus?
Yeah, I'm very excited. Especially being, I don't know, from the Yukon, not many people take that opportunity. So I feel very fortunate, especially in COVID times, like being able to do all of that and getting signed. Like I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, for sure, and it's crazy because, like, you moved away from Yukon to, Manitoba to pursue, playing at Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy, and now you're gonna be, moving away from home again to move to Calgary, Alberta. Just how do you think that the move away from home from Yukon to play for Pilot-Mound is gonna help you when you get to those experiences, at that point getting to Calgary, Alberta?
Um, yeah, being away from home, like in high school, even though like it was hard at times and it was very scary to leave at first, it's definitely going to help me in college just because like, I've dealt with being homesick and missing my family and all those things, so I'm kind of prepared and like I know what to expect.
Yeah, for sure, and I'm sure that your parents, like, they must have been so supportive for you to be able to play for Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy, for you to move away from home. Just talk about the support that they've, shown you through this time of you deciding where you were gonna commit.
Um, yeah, it was definitely I always had to my parents had a say but they wanted me in Canada also. And Alberta was the goal just because it's a little bit closer to home than Manitoba. And then once I found out that I really liked like the coaching style at SAIT and everything like that, it was perfect. So we were all happy.
Seems like you make an impact on just everyone around you. How excited are you to bring the type of energy that you bring to SAIT and to just making new friends out there?
Yeah, I'm so excited. These I've been told like the college friendships are the most important ones, you go through a lot with them and I hope to bring some sort of positive leadership to that and just be really successful.
In terms of just your game where it's at right now, just how do you feel like you're gonna be able to make that transition into playing at that university level, playing at the college women's hockey game?
I definitely have some nerves about it for sure. Like I'm a little nervous, but I think once I get a few practices in and get comfortable with the team, I think I'll be okay. It'll probably just be a bit faster paced than what I've played before, but
You're going to be joining a program that went 7-17 back in 2019-2020. For you to be joining a program like this, moving away from home, just the type of player you are, what would you say, how would you say about your excitement, just talking about your excitement of being able to join a program like this and just looking to turn things around there a bit?
I'm definitely super excited and I'm a very defensive player, so I think I'll definitely bring that to the team and, hope to contribute in every way I can.
Yeah, for sure. And, just last question before we go to our first commercial break, just in terms of what you want to experience during your time with SAIT, with the hockey program, just talk about the goals that you want to achieve during your time there playing Trojans hockey.
I'd like to develop more as a player, obviously, but I'd also like to. I've never been on a team for longer than like a season or two, like it always kind of changes. So I think to be with one like solid group for 4 years, I think that would just be so awesome. Like just to have that connection. Like I've never been a part of anything like that.
Back here on this edition of Coffee with Graham on this segment of University Commits. Of course, I've been joined by Ecko Kirk, number 4 of Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy, their female U18 prep team. Of course, she committed to SAIT College for the 2021-22 season, and we just talked about that in the first segment of the show. We're going to dive into just your time before committing to SAIT College, just with you being from Yukon. Just how was it like playing hockey there growing up?
Um, there's definitely some challenges, especially for being a girl, like growing up playing, I was always the only girl in my age group. So then I started commuting, like when I was pretty young, to go play hockey 2 hours away, like 3 times a week. And then they don't have much in the Yukon for like midget girls, so that's like part of the reason why I wanted to move away. But that's like the main reason, actually.
What was that like, just being able to experience that of commuting out for 2 hours just to be able to further your development?
Um, it was definitely challenging because it was like all winter long for I think I did that for 4 or 5 seasons. So it was, I was just young, so I didn't have my license or anything. It was hard on my parents for sure. And it was hard on me as like I had to always go to school and I like didn't really have time to get my homework done. So I was always like tired and so it was definitely hard. So that transition I think to Pilot-Mound was like something I needed to do.
We talked about the bear situation in Yukon and how you didn't really see any out here in Manitoba. Could you just speak of just some of the other cool things about Yukon that's just different from all the other places that you've been to in your life?
Um, One of the things about like especially where I live right. I live in Haines Junction, so surrounding we have the Kluane National Park, and then we have the St. Elias Mountain Range overlooking the whole town, and it's just like beautiful. Like some of the biggest mountains in North America are in
That's crazy. So
there.
you had a chance to see the mountains quite a bit when you were young and just growing up.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy. The mountains pretty big out there, yeah.
yeah, they're really big. Like in this mountain range, that's like where Mount Logan is. I think it's the biggest one in Canada or North America, maybe. Yeah.
That's nuts. That's crazy. So with a lot of mountains, did you have a chance to do any skiing or snowboard in in your lifetime?
Yeah, definitely skiing and snowboarding. We'd also go snow machining in the mountains like an hour away, which is awesome.
That's crazy. That's
Mhm.
nuts. So I'm assuming that you guys have a pretty nice snow machine to be able to do that.
Yeah, definitely. I don't have one of my own, but I use my dad's, my brother's.
Yeah. Is that a goal for you later on when you come back to the Yukon after you're done at SAIT, just being able to have one of your own and to be able to carry on that tradition of doing that?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the things I really want in the future.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. And you just spoke about how there wasn't many opportunities for you in terms of hockey growing up in Yukon of just being able to play in places for just midget female. Just talk about why you chose Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy specifically to take that next step in your hockey development back in 2019, 2020.
So I was I was really nervous to leave. So the fact that, I talked to the coach in Pilot-Mound and the fact that it was, like a family business and it was a small town that it was based out of, I thought it would be like an easier transition and like more comfortable. And then I was totally right. Like once I got there, like the small town atmosphere is so awesome. And then like the whole academy staff, like they all treat you like family. Like it was really nice, definitely.
Talking about Brad Platt, coach that you had a chance to play for in your 2 seasons, just speak about what he was able to do for just your development in hockey.
Um, yeah, he definitely contributed a lot. My first year, he was the defense coach. So I think like once or twice a week, we would split up the forwards and D, and he would just run us through drills. At the time, I thought they were redundant, but they actually helped, like definitely helped me improve. So yeah, he's definitely contributed a lot. We would also do he would run us through power skating once a week too, that we also didn't like, but definitely has improved my agility.
Well, yeah, it's a great thing to say about you. Just talking about how your big smile, work ethic, and carrying attitude will help Echo achieve her goals. Just speak about the type of energy that you brought to that Pilot Mountain Hockey Academy team throughout your 2 seasons, just with that big smile and that work ethic that you had.
Yeah, when I first arrived, I was definitely nervous and I didn't want to, as a rookie, I didn't want to step on anyone's toes. But once I got more comfortable, I think I made a pretty good impact, like leading, like lead by example, just with like everything, like always working hard for the workouts, in practice, always giving it my all and things like that.
And what was that like? Because like you and your teammates were together pretty much 24/7. Just being able to build bonds with teammates like that, being close to them pretty much all day long, every day. Just what was that experience like of just going through the hockey academy and experiencing that?
Yeah, it was definitely I think one of the most important things about that is we have our own rooms individually, so we do get a break from everybody at night when we go to bed. But you definitely build some really strong bonds. Like I've made the best friends I've ever had at Pilot Mound just from being there for 2 years, just because we do literally everything together, and you become very close. Like that's definitely my family.
Yeah, for sure. Always awesome to just come out and experience like that and to call these girls, like you said, like family. Just speak about the day to day for you and how you felt that you were able to handle it at Pilot Mountain throughout your time being there.
Um, yeah, it was definitely challenging, like especially the first year for me, just being like so far from home, and we had a very busy schedule. Like we would be on the road pretty much every weekend, and then there would be the pressure of making sure all your homework was done. But knowing that all those girls were going through the same thing with me, and like all the coaches and everybody were so supportive, it just definitely made that easier.
You had a chance for you to play in 48 games in your rookie season. You put up a goal, 3 assists, 4 points, and 30 penalty minutes. You joined a pretty young team back in 2019, 2020, a program that just came off going to a finals and losing. Just what was that like coming in for yourself being, that younger player at the time, just coming in and joining a program like that back in 2019, 2020?
It was definitely intimidating at first just because of I knew like their history and that like the year before they were in the CSSHL playoff game. But it kind of made me more motivated in a sense just because I wanted to be as successful as the team had previously been. Like I wanted to push for the team's success.
And how did you feel like you adapted to the CSSHL game early on in your first season of playing?
It was definitely a change at first, but it wasn't very hard to adapt to, especially since we practiced every day and we always practice at game speed. So, I was always nervous, but the nerves always went away after the first shift, and it was pretty easy to adapt to.
Could you speak about the teammate you had a chance to play with in that first season? Just how you guys were able to bond as teammates out there, just in terms of building that chemistry.
Yeah, it was a little difficult at first because we had a lot of players come and go. We didn't have we only had one permanent goalie, and then the other one kind of switched a lot. But I think the main core group of girls that stayed really held the team together, and whatever we went through, even we had really hard losses and all that kind of stuff, we really held each other up.
Could you speak about just how you felt that you adapted to the game with Pilot-Mound and the CSSHL as the season went along, all the way up until the end of your season?
I definitely Brad actually helped me gain more confidence throughout and as we went on for games. So then I was able to push myself and challenge myself to do things that I would normally be too nervous to do or something, and that definitely made me improve a lot. So then by the end I was very comfortable and just played very hard for my team.
And for you being able to be comfortable, play hard for your team, just what in your game did you find took its biggest step in that season in terms of just something in your skill set?
Um, well, I have a lot of passion, as a defenseman, I get very, very protective, and I um if someone gets past me, I don't take it lightly. So that was one of the things I would work on, my foot speed and making sure I always beat the person one on one. So I definitely improved that a lot.
Yeah, well, Brad also was quoted and said that you improved so much since you came here 2 years ago, saying that you're tough to beat on one-on-ones, sees the ice wall, and as tough as nails. Just talking about the one-on-ones, just how did you feel like from, your first season to this season that you were able to improve just your overall position and gap control into, being more effective and stopping one-on-ones?
Um, yeah, my first year, definitely, we had a lot of very good forwards. We had Sydney O'Dowachuk, Gracie Perry. I can't think of anyone else at the top of my head. But they were all, really good fast forwards. So whenever we do one-on-one drills, I would always try to, make sure I would go with one of them, try to challenge myself. And that definitely helped me improve a lot, as well as this year, gave me the confidence that I needed for my grade 12 year.
You, being, Brad quoted saying that you're tough as nails. Of course, you coming into your first season, of course, going against competition that may be a bit older than you. Just how do you find that your physicality and I guess your strength was able to improve throughout your time, just all the way up until the end of you playing at Pilot-Mound?
Um, yeah, it helped me a lot, especially, because I'm pretty tall on the ice. So once I figured out how to, be sturdy on my feet and balance and make sure no one can get past me, that definitely made me very effective, especially in front of the net.
And in terms of you just being able to see the ice wall, did you find that it got a lot easier as you were able to get more reps, be more familiar with the game in the CSSHL as time went along for you to be able to see the ice as well as you do now?
Yeah, 100%. Especially like within both of my last or my years at Pilot-Mound, we would do a lot of drills where the defense would have to go and retrieve the puck out of their end with pressure. And we would do that over and over and over again, like almost every single practice. And then in games. You know, like I would always like try to, because of those practices, it would help me stay calm and pick my head up and figure out what I need to do, where I need to go.
With this hockey academy, one of the coolest things is they get players coming in from all different sorts of places. Of course, for you being a prime example, with you coming from Yukon, and COVID-19 has been tough on so many people, and I'm assuming that was tough on this program, just being able to get you guys in for this season. Just talk about how COVID-19 had such an effect on this year for yourself personally.
Um, yeah, it's definitely there's definitely been some challenges, especially so the Yukon has a 2 week self-isolation rule, and they've had that in effect since March of 2019. So that definitely made all my breaks a lot more difficult to plan, and I would always have to come home 2 weeks early. And then after Christmas break, Manitoba came up with that law, which sucked because then I would have to isolate in both places. But yeah, it was just it that part sucked, but it was nice because we didn't have to, like other places in Manitoba were all online for school, and we weren't for the most part, so that was definitely very nice.
Yeah, that's great for sure that you still got to be in person with your classmates for sure, with your teammates, of course. But yeah, for this season, of course, you guys started off slow. Not much success this season, but you guys were only able to play in 5 games. Just speak about the potential that you saw in this team personally this season, and just how far you guys could have potentially gone if you were able to get a full set of games in this year.
Yeah, this year we had a lot of new players, but in the like since the beginning, right when we all first got there in September, we're all working very hard with our off ice workouts and working hard on the ice every single day. I was so excited once we got to playing games, like and it's our first year in prep, right? So even when we were playing like St. Mary's and we're actually like playing with them, like the score was really close. That was so exciting, and then it was really disappointing that we couldn't play any more games and figure out how that would have turned out.
Yeah, for sure. It's just one of those seasons where it's what could have been for sure, no doubt about it. But yeah, just for you getting to play a season in Pilot-Mound with in your first year, playing in a season this year, which was very short with only 5 games. You had a chance to play in 53 career games with this team, just getting to experience going into this hockey academy, being with, teammates pretty much 24/7 until bedtime, of course, when you guys were in your own rooms. Just speak about just how thankful you are to have gone through this experience with the hockey academy at Pilot Mound.
Um, I'm definitely very, very thankful for the decision that I made. When I first got offered like the spot and had the opportunity to go down, I was obviously like very, very nervous, and I didn't know. I was really scared to leave home, but it was definitely one of the best decisions I've ever made. Like I've had the best experiences going. Like my first year, we would travel like all across Canada and into the States, playing lots of hockey, and I've had like the best experiences, made the best friends.
Is there an experience you'll look back at and say that's probably going to be my favorite experience with this team, or are there too many to
Um,
pick as your favorite?
I think that there's too many to pick as my favorite, but definitely how close we were like as a group, like even just in the dorms, or we're all just super close and like have really good relationships with each other.
Well, that's amazing that just being able to be in this hockey academy is left you the lasting impressions of just your teammates, of just being able to bond with them and just all the other great stuff too. And it's going to be exciting to see what you're going to be able to do in, say, college, and just the other new bonds you're going to make along the way, which is going to be great to see. So I was joined by Ecko Kirk, number 4 of Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy, their female U18 prep team, on this edition of Coffee with Graeme on University Commits. I'm going to let Ecko go now. I'm going to be back for some final words myself here on this edition of Coffee with Graeme. You're not going to want to miss it. Stick with me on this edition of Coffee with Graeme. But first, we're going to go to another commercial break here on ASTV. Welcome back to Coffee with Graeme on ASTV Productions. Ecko Kirk, senior defenseman of Pilot-Mound Hockey Academy's female U18 prep team, joined me on today's edition of the show on university commits. I want to thank her for coming on and being the guest in today's episode. I also want to thank you, the viewer, for tuning in today, and I also want to thank our sponsors for sponsoring today's edition of Coffee with Graeme and Anada and Fabricland Winkler. And speaking of Coffee with Graeme, another episode comes to you on Thursday morning at 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time. You can catch Thursday's episode on our Facebook page at ASTV Productions, or you can check it out on our website at astvproductions.com. But until then, folks, I've been your host of Coffee with Graeme, Graeme Forsyth, signing off now. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you Thursday.